It's Brett, the Aggressive Whiskers podcast. Trying something different today. Fresh off of eye surgery, all horned up. I don't know, maybe that's not accurate. I'm maybe a little horned up, but I'm not like, I wouldn't say that I'm all horned up with nowhere to go. Also, can't figure out why my fucking mic is so fucking loud. I should be able to do this and not clip. There, that's probably perfect. Sorry, it's been so long since I recorded. As I mentioned in my previous episode, I did have eye surgery again. And, the idea is that this is the last surgery. So, for anybody that doesn't know the whole story, I got hit in my eye, direct shot to the ball last Saturday before Easter, and that's April 3rd, and scratched the cornea, eyeball swelled up, full of blood. Doctor said everything would be fine. Some point in like May, I'm thinking the retina detached. I didn't do anything about it. It stayed detached for 4 months because I thought it was just healing. Went in like August, July or something, and they were like, you need surgery immediately. Had surgery, didn't work. It tore again. Had another surgery in September, and it took, but had a little fold, and they put an oil bubble in your eyeball, and it's been healing all fall, all winter, and the process after that was to um, remove the oil bubble because the retina in the center of my eye had reattached itself, fixed a little fold down at the bottom where the tear was, and then reinstall or put into your eye in my eyeball a gas bubble, which is a long-acting gas, and long-acting is in like 6 weeks. So at some point around the 6-week mark, the gas bubble will have completely dissipated out of my eye. My eye will then be full of water like it would otherwise normally be. And in theory, my eye should be clear. I should be able to see, albeit it has a buckle, a clear silicone buckle around it, and I'll have to get a new prescription, which is fucking fine. I will do that, no problem. But anyway, I just had that surgery. They pulled the oil out. They laid the retina flat. They lasered it back in place. They put the gas in. And I just had my 1-week post-op visit yesterday, the 9th, and was cleared to return to daily. He said I could liberalize my daily activities. Basically, I didn't have to be face down 45 minutes of every hour. I can go back to work. I can read. I can do my emails. I could jack off, my regular amount of times a day, which is 6. And I probably am still limited to things that I can lift, which is fine. I can wait a little bit longer to go to the gym again. Anyway, I'm going to try and podcast. So this is my first podcast post-surgery, and I'm trying video. So I'm going to add a little video to this. I'm recording the whole thing. I've got some sexy supplemental lighting over there on my right and my left. I don't like the shadows. I got to figure out how to get rid of this shit. This back here looks like there's a person behind me waving their hands. Anyway, welcome back to Aggressive Whiskers. I got a couple of notes. I don't have a ton of things to talk about today, but I just wanted to record something and get it out there for you. My main question: am I a dickhead? And a lot of you probably just went, what? No, you're not a dickhead. But I'm serious. My wife told me that I was a dickhead. Not in a mean way. Not like, I fucking hate you, you're a dickhead, which she's probably said to herself in her head before. But at this point, she was just saying to me that I was a dickhead, and a dickhead by choice. God, I gotta write that down. I don't know if I can write dickhead on the podcast episode. Dickhead by choice? Is that right? Dickhead by choice. So since I don't have a producer, I'm here making notes by my fucking self. So I'm a dickhead by choice, meaning that I decided somewhere along my life's journey that I wanted to project myself as a dickhead, as in, don't talk to me, I don't want to hug you, I'm not friendly, I'm a dickhead. And I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I think the term dickhead is a little more aggressive than the persona I really, truly, in my heart, was hoping to project, which is dick. I just want to be a dick. I don't want to be a dickhead because I think if you're a dickhead, it's a different level of being unapproachable, unpleasant, unkind, unlovable, unwilling to help because that's not me. I'll help. I'm kind to those I want to be kind with. I'm loving. I'm very passionate. Um, I'm an aggressive lover but I want to be thought of like I don't want that to be viewed as a weakness. So I do have those tendencies to be a dick, and I'm okay with that. But I'm not a dickhead. But then, does anybody think I'm a dickhead? Does anybody I know think Brett is a D head? And I've always thought that. And his wife is just telling him, and I appreciate her doing that. So anyway, am I a dickhead? I don't think so, but I'm a dick, and I'm okay with that. Another thing that I was thinking about in the last week or so, because like I said, I had to be face down, and that's tough. But also, if you've committed to like, if you're if you've had an injury like mine and you're struggling with it, you get to a point where you're really willing to do whatever it takes. And I knew by putting the gas bubble in, I would not need a follow up surgery, but I would be required to be face down as much as possible during the healing process because that gas bubble will float and push the retina repair in place and allow it to heal. But if you commit to it, you can find things to do. While I was doing that, the kids wanted to play a game. We've been trying to play board games and stuff. Winter's tough. I mean, when you're inside so much, you got to find things to do. So the kids wanted to play a board game, and they have a game called Chick a Pig. And at this moment, I could not tell you the rules of the game or how to play or what the end result was or who won. But I can tell you this: children's games today fucking suck. They suck. They're incredibly convoluted. The instructions are incredibly difficult to understand. I don't understand how kids can enjoy this. In our day, here comes crotchety old dickhead Brett. In our day, the rules were very simple. The game was colorful, or it made a lot of noise, or you moved around a lot, and that was fun. But at some point, probably when we started this trophy culture bullshit, and everybody thought, I can make a game, I can make a game, I can make a game, and you just made up the most fucking asinine rules and created a board and some pieces, and you're like, cool, this will sell for $15.99, and every dumb fuck out there bought it, ourselves included. And then you got these kids who are frustrated because you don't want to play a game with them, but their games are fucking stupid, and the rules make no sense, and nobody wins, and halfway through the game, everybody quits. What the fuck happened? What's wrong with checkers? What's wrong with Candyland? What's wrong with Guess Who? It doesn't get any easier than Guess Who. Does your motherfucker have glasses? Nope. Click, 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 click. That was the sound of you knocking your people over. The kids board games today suck. You got to be 6 with a fucking astrophysics fucking degree. You got to be a medical doctor to understand the fucking rules. And it takes 6 fucking hours to read them. You got to take a break and have lunch in between. Can we just go back to simpler times? And I said this on my other podcast, like, I just want to go not necessarily back in time, but back to simpler times when there was no internet and no social media and no podcasts. Who would I talk to? But no podcasts, and board games were simple. There were 4 rules, 2 colors, 2 to 4 players. Hell, card games, war. The most simple, basic principle. I'm better than you. I beat you. You die. That's perfect. That's all it ever needed to be. There doesn't need to be hay bales and different colored chickens and pigs and cow poop patties that you can put on the board game to have to move around. And you shouldn't be allowed to put a pile of cow poop in front of your opponent's player, and you should be able to. You can't go backwards more than 2 times on a Friday, and sometimes on Wednesdays it's opposite day, so you can go upside down and around sometimes on an angle, but not backwards. Nobody moves backwards. Let's just go back, man. Go back to simpler fucking times. Checkers, not even fuck chess. Chess is hard. War, solitaire, Candyland, Guess Who. Scrabble's a good game. Teaches you how teaches it just it's a learning fucking game. Yahtzee's a good game. I never learned how to play Othello. I think that was what it was called. Looked like a shuffleboard fucking thing. I don't even know. Othello. Anybody know how to play Othello? I don't know how to play Othello. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a tangent there on kids games, but I just today's kids games are fucking stupid. Not everybody needs to be able to make a kids game. Just leave it to fucking Parker Brothers. Fucking Monopoly. I hate Monopoly because it takes too long to set up, but god damn it, it's easy. We got Huntingopoly. It took regular Monopoly and made it 4 times harder and confusing. Stop. If you're gonna copy something, copy it exactly. I don't get like fucking stop it. Just stop making everything so complicated. You know what else is complicated? Cancel culture. It's something I need to work on in this podcast is segues. I don't it was easier when I was having a conversation with Adam. I could come up with my segues while he was rambling on about fucking you in the grass, playing with your ass. Cancel culture, man. It is. It is plaguing today's society. It's not enough. Um, it makes sense if you are an aggressive racist. Mild racism is fine. If you are an aggressive, dangerous racist, fine. I understand maybe you should be canceled. You should be allowed to continue to do what you are doing, but but it should be substantially harder for you to make a living doing it if you are truly causing a problem. I'm not saying you shouldn't be allowed to do it, but nobody should be able to. It should just be increasingly more difficult for you to succeed today uh, than in the whatever. What I'm getting at is people want to cancel everything now. And it's not just so I'm sorry, I'm learning about this camera thing. I find that I close my eyes when I think sometimes, and so on the video you'll see Brett's sleeping. Everybody wants to cancel everything, and I think that's dangerous because where does it stop? At some point it's going to go full circle and come back to you, and you're going to get canceled. And I don't, like I said in the beginning, I don't mind if certain people get canceled, but I don't think you should be prevented from doing whatever it is that you want to do. I support people's ability for free speech. I support the Second Amendment. Um, I support all of that stuff. I support the Constitution to the extent that it should be harder for you to do what you're trying to do if you are truly causing harm or causing a problem. And if that means vigilante justice, so be it. But I don't like cancel culture. Um, so the Joe Rogan situation. Now, obviously, the man is a powerhouse. He's a juggernaut in the industry. He is more. He has more viewership than CNN. He has the most viewership today than any mainstream media. Any. It was like 11. It was like 11 million streams or something or views. In comparison, he had the top at 11 million views or listens or whatever it was, impressions. And then the next lowest was like CNN or whatever. Just he has far surpassed mainstream media, and That worries so many people who are invested in persuading the American people or the world's people into believing what they want you to believe, which in fact is what happens on mainstream media. They're not for you, they are for dollar bills, they are for profit, they are not for your best interest. Their journalistic integrity has gone a long time ago. So please spare me the they are journalists argument. They're not. They're puppets, they're clowns, and their bosses are being bought and sold left and right by big business. And Joe Rogan's uh, anti establishment, cannot be bought, no agenda approach to journalism, hell, not just conversationalism, scares the fuck out of mainstream media because he is not afraid to ask questions of anyone and have honest conversations with anyone to just get information to the people. And when the most people in the world are hearing real honest conversations, that jeopardizes the big pharma, the big business agenda, and they're terrified. So they don't really want to cancel Joe. They just want to regain control. And that's all it is. It's a power grab. It's a I'm shaking at the knees because I'm concerned for my future as a business. Power grab. They're fucking deathly terrified. But anyway, Joe Rogan asks questions of the world's leading scientists and so on and so forth. And Elon Musk and hell, he's had Steven Tyler on there who looks like a crazy drunk aunt at a sleepover. But nonetheless, in no way should Joe Rogan be canceled. He should be promoted. Joe Rogan for president. Dare I say it? Joe Rogan for president. Fuck The Rock for throwing his buddy, his so-called friend, under the bus. And fuck everybody else who has something negative to say about Joe Rogan. The only reason you have something negative to say about Joe Rogan is because he made you feel uncomfortable when you learned that you've been lied to. You heard the truth from Joe, you realized you've been lied to and duped, and now you feel bad, so you want to punish him. Those same people are exactly what's wrong with the world today. And I don't understand how we're going to get past this. I don't know how to get to the next level. I don't foresee the end of this situation. I used to find that I could see how things would play out. The older I get, the harder time I'm having. I have a friend, a great friend, one of my closest best friends who's struggling with mental health right now. And I don't know how to approach it with him. I have somebody in my life who is in their advanced age, or they're substantially older than me, and they're having a hard time making good decisions about their lifestyle, which is causing them health problems. Nothing major, but their poor decision making. And so I used to be able to say to myself, I see how this plays out. For the first time in my life, I find that I more often than not say to myself, I don't see how this plays out. I don't know how to approach my friend. I don't know if he needs tough love or just love. I don't know how to approach this woman or how to deal with the situation, which is not mine to deal with anyway, but I am involved. I don't know how to approach this person. Does this woman need tough love, or do they just need love? This cancel culture, this victimization that everybody has, this need to have a label for your problem, this need to fit into some sort of a group that has a label, whether it's beneficial for you or not, whether it's a detriment to your to your life, whether it is hurtful or bringing you up. This need to have a label. I don't know how we get past this. I'm going to die, and it won't be my problem. But I have 3 children who are going to have to deal with this, who may or may not have children someday that will have to deal with this. But there's several generations of clowns living in this world today who couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag, who wouldn't know what to do with a weapon if it came with a picture book of instructions, who cannot think for themselves, who do not listen to their body, who cannot, for the life of them, accept responsibility for their behaviors and their actions and their decisions. I'm not perfect. I don't always accept that I've made poor decisions in my life. However, I'm smart enough to know that I've made bad decisions and I can see myself through the negative outcome of that. But we have so many generations of people who cannot survive that when the current older generations die off, we are in deep shit. We are in deep fucking shit. I watched a speech today where a woman said that eating meat was racist and misogynistic, and it's a problem because of our whiteness. Our whiteness. She was an older lady, too. She must be real fun at parties. Fuck these people. I almost want to run for governor of Michigan. Full tattoos, casual every day. Not casual Friday, casual every day. Because the establishment isn't working. The suits in Washington, D.C. and your government is not working. Nothing that you think of as historically normal is working. We've got to change it up. Ian Smith in New Jersey, the gym owner, who defied all mandates, kept his gym open. He's running for Congress. I don't want to run for Congress. I could run for governor. And I would stand on that podium and I would say, I swear, I've said the N-word. I have covered in tattoos. I jack off a lot. I hunt. I listen to heavy metal. I will probably screw up several times, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be bought and sold by the highest bidders. But I don't know. I don't know if you can even do it. Because at some point you have to defer responsibility to other people, and then how can you be so sure that they won't do that? But I don't know what the answer is, and that bothers me. It bothers me that at 41, I cannot see truthfully how this plays out, how any of it plays out. I don't see it ever going back to the way it was. I don't think having Trump in office would fix anything. That guy's a fucking clown too. I just don't know, and that really bothers me. And I don't know if I have anything lighthearted to add after this. It's belly button lint season. It has been for a while. Again, I've talked about this on the other podcast. Belly button lint. I can wear a t-shirt like I would all year. If I wear a t-shirt in the summer, it's fine. I'm very hairy. I have chest hair. You can't see it. I have a lot of chest hair and belly hair. It's not a gross amount. It's a sexy amount. It's very attractive. It's well grown. My body knew what it was doing when it was growing my body hair. And anyway, in the summertime, if I just wear a t-shirt like I normally do, or a tank top, no belly button lint. The second the weather gets colder and I shimmy on into a hoodie, somehow lint from the hoodie either walks down the end of my shirt, up into my body hair, and worms its way into my belly button, and then nests there until my shower the next day or later. Or it somehow meanders through the fibers of my t-shirt, my undershirt, and into my belly button. I'm sure that there is a magical dance between my body hair and the clothing fibers that somehow does the Macarena and coaxes the fibers of the hoodie into my belly button. But if anybody knows why this happens or how, and if anybody knows of a video of it happening, there's videos of everything these days. If anybody knows of a video that I could watch that shows me very clearly how the fibers go from the inside of your hoodie into your belly button, I would pay you top dollar. Name your price, I'll pay it. Um, I think that's probably it. I think that's probably all I got. There's no segue out of that. There really wasn't a good segue into that. I was just trying to stay lighthearted after my "the world is doomed" conversation. And I don't think it's the end of the world as we know it. I think it's an awakening. I think there will be horrible things that happen over the next decade. And I'm happy to say that I'm 40 when this happens, because I think I'm as prepared as I've ever been um, to do hard things. But um, keeping it lighthearted after that was important to me. So you're welcome for discussing belly button lint, and thanks for listening. We will talk to everybody soon.